Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. So did Lauryn Slope truly get prepared by hunters in the business? Lauryn is my young lady since I took her from her mother's house when she was just 12 or 13 years old. Lauryn Slope's disappearance from Hollywood has forever been quite possibly the greatest secret in Hollywood. Individuals have consistently asked why she plunged in the wake of dropping one of the best rap collections ever, and she is at long last recounting her side of the story. Prepare yourself, you all, since it isn't pretty. And did she truly get prepared by Wyclef Jean while we're discussing a portion of the top female rappers ever? It would be a transgression not to incorporate Lauryn Slope. She is perhaps one of the best legends in the rap game, and she set records that these young rap ladies are battling to beat even after 20 years. That is the reason it's really astonishing to perceive how her profession went downhill after one collection, since she had such a lot of potential to accomplish such a great deal more. At the end of the day, she was a piece of the Fugees, dropped a significant collection, and sort of plunged after that. Individuals have been thinking about what precisely befell her to make her profession go down the drain. Furthermore, you all have a hard time believing this, yet Lauryn just talked about her time in the business, and it's chaotic on the grounds that she likewise uncovered several industry Goliaths for disrupting her, and eventually assuming a part in killing her profession. For those of you who don't have any idea, Lauryn got into the business early in life, so she was entirely defenseless against control. To put it into perspective, how youthful she was, her Fugees co-part prize uncovered that she was around 12 to 13 when they initially met. Lauryn is my young lady since I proceeded to get her from her mother's house when she was just 12 or 13 years old, and I told her mom I would safeguard her girl. So when I say she was truly youthful, I was dead serious on the grounds that, indeed, not long after they met, Paz acquainted her with his companion Wyclef Jean, and they before long began collaborating together. Wyclef and Lauryn would later frame the Fugees, where they made a great deal of progress. However, before that, there was a great deal of show in the gathering that would ultimately shape and ruin Lauryn's profession. Most importantly, supposedly, there's the way that Wyclef was drawn to Lauryn when she was 6 years younger than he was at that point. That implies she was 13 or 14 when he was around 19 or 20. Individuals have consistently found that peculiar in light of the fact that a 20-year-old elderly person being drawn to a 14-year-old is exceptionally unpleasant, and it's basically impossible that about that. Fortunately for Lauryn's award, he attempted to pay special attention to her, and he reprimanded Wyclef to his back. You can't converse with a man. She's excessively youthful for you. Not just that. You know her sibling, he confides in me, was conceived by Clef. I know you, man. Indeed, Wyclef paid attention to Val for some time. Yet meanwhile, he took on the job of a guide and guaranteed that he showed her how to rap. She began to devote a greater amount of her time to music, which was her genuine energy. The Fugees set a record by managing the Rough House in 1993, and in 1994, they dropped their presentation collection, Dulled on the Real World. Presently, while that collection was not a major business achievement, it got them acknowledgement. Furthermore, as of now, Wyclef and Lauryn had gotten involved sincerely, despite the fact that he was at that point with another person, a lady named Claude Annette. He even got married to Claudette in 1994. Be that as it may, he didn't quit sneaking around with Lauryn. The Fugees dropped their subsequent collection, The Score, in 1996, and it was a greater accomplishment than their most memorable collection. The Score was a gigantic achievement, most definitely, and it went multiple times platinum. The collection got #1 on the Bulletin 200, and it got the Fugees 2 Grammy grants. In any case, the fascinating thing about the collection is that Lauryn turned into the breakout star. All in all, certain individuals from the gathering were effective, yet Lauryn got the majority of the consideration due to her numbskull abilities, and individuals began requesting that she drop the Fugees and set out alone. As a matter of fact, she stood out because Pepsi believed she should start a business alone, but she turned them down since she stayed faithful to the gathering. I recall when Pepsi believed that she should go into business, and they were like, all we need is you. We needn't bother with the other 2 felines, she said. Without them, I'm not getting it done. The gathering remained together, and in 1996, they went on the Smoking Furrows visit, and this is where Lauryn met Rohan Marley, who is Weave Marley's child. Right now, she was all the while sneaking around with Wyclef, but she before long began a relationship with Rohan, and in 1997, she got pregnant with their most memorable kid. From the start, Wyclef thought the child was his, yet Lauryn uncovered that the child was really Rohan's. This prompted a great deal of strain among them, and it thus caused contact in the gathering on the grounds that Wyclef felt sold out. It was as of now that Lauryn chose to at last begin dealing with her independent collection, yet Wyclef didn't uphold her. In the long run, she delivered her solo presentation, The Misdirection of Lauryn Slope, in 1998, and it immediately became one of the most outstanding rap collections of all time. The collection got 10 Grammy selections and won 5, however, there were countless contentions connected to it. She was sued by a gathering of performers known as the ARC for not giving them songwriting and creation credits on the collection. Furthermore, this prompted a frightful claim. She at last privately addressed any outstanding issues. However, it was still a dreadful stain on her work. She needed to surrender a portion of the credits on the collection. And as per an insider, this is where things sort of began to unwind on the grounds that she felt crushed after the legal dispute. At this point, she was at the pinnacle of her profession, however. The tensions of notoriety had begun getting to her. There were likewise reports that her significant other was undermining her, so she needed to shuffle the chaotic profession and additionally her muddled individual life too. It was close to this time that she met a man named Sibling Anthony, who was accepted to be a clique chief. Individuals trusted that Sibling Anthony programmed her, however, he also controlled her. Not long after she met him, she terminated her whole administration, cut off her loved ones, and essentially vanished from the public eye. 2 or 3 years from that point forward, it was known that she had moved to Miami and was getting ready to begin recording her subsequent collection. Furthermore, this time, insiders detailed that she made authors and different colleagues transfer ownership of their privileges to credits on the collection since she needed to have every one of the credits. However, sadly, circumstances didn't exactly pan out on the grounds that Lauryn continued to delay the studio meetings and never appeared for them. This at last got her associates so disappointed that they, in the long run, exited the venture. Then, in 2005, she reconnected with the Fugees, and they went on a get-together visit. However, once more, Lauryn appeared late to meetings, and this caused considerably more erosion between them. In any case, in 2009, they declared that they were dealing with a third collection, which, at this point, has never occurred. Lauryn's demeanor was blamed for this since she continued to drop studio meetings. It's wild to imagine that she delivered one of the best rap collections in recent memory. All in all, she actually keeps on giving exhibitions to a great extent, yet she, as of now, has a terrible standing. She is known for being amateurish, particularly with regards to timing since she is quite often late. And afterward, her exhibitions don't necessarily get what they should have. Indeed, her ex, Rohan, spilled the tea on what truly befell their marriage and Lauryn's profession. He said individuals have been manufacturing anecdotes about the relationship for years. One story that came up was that I got her collaborator pregnant. Then, at that point, she began doing Bible studies with this fellow, and turned out to be extremely detached from the world in view of her examinations. However, individuals said that my isolation was my shortcoming, and that wasn't true. I disagreed with what the Book of Scriptures concentrates on and what the person was talking about. Furthermore, you can't live under a similar roof as your accomplice on the off chance that she's taking talk from another person. Indeed, Rohan accused his brother Anthony. Insiders uncovered that Lauryn really faults the business for annihilating her, particularly her Fugees. An insider asserted that Lauryn feels like Wyclef didn't do what was necessary to safeguard and protect her from the business. While Wyclef pronounced himself her tutor, the insider guaranteed that Lauryn felt like he was simply covertly attempting to draw near to her so he could begin an undertaking without cost. Being familiar with it, she supposedly feels like Wyclef maneuvered her toward the undertaking, and afterward, when she broke free from his control, he would not help her collection and requested a respite. The insider asserted that Lauryn feels like he just tossed her out to suffocate. He knew how awkward she was with the celeb way of life, and he never really safeguarded her from the business, particularly since he guaranteed her mom to pay special attention to her. Individuals have come and said they just had some experiences looking into why Lauryn Slope can't completely play out her own tunes. Furthermore, I got to say that Wyclef, a grimy man in this industry, restricted Lauryn Slope, no doubt. I still can't completely accept that Wyclef made Lauryn slope grimy. He seemed like he had such a lot of soul and such a lot of heart. Of course, youth is a monster, and it is insane how she had all that steadfastness for them, and they showed her none.